Miles. When you first suffered the hamstring injury, did you expect to just be kind of a day-to-day situation, or did you see this kind of outlook where you could potentially miss week one?
Yeah, the way it went, just talk about the injury, hamstring injuries are, as everybody knows, very tricky and unpredictable. So I had it during training camp, just working on it, getting treatment and stuff, getting it to as close as 100% as possible, and just really just I could have played last week, but like I said, hamstrings are real tricky. I felt good. That was the first week I actually felt good and stuff, so they didn't want to just throw me in that same week. So just trusting the training staff and the coaches on the decision. And what's important is that I'm playing this week. So
Let's go Dave and then Rube.
Miles, you just said you're playing this weekend. Are you 100%, or how close to that do you feel like you are?
I feel 100%. I'm ready to go.
Do you think they'll limit your snaps at all, carries?
I hope not. I hope not. But like I said, I'm willing to do whatever the coaches are, whatever's best interest for me and for the team. I'm ready to do whatever.
Rube and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Miles, how difficult was Sunday not being able to be out there for a season opener?
Very difficult. I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't. I was actually sitting on my couch. It wasn't a good feeling at all. I didn't like it at all. But all I can say is that, like I said again, just trusting the training staff and their decision on just keeping me out for an extra week just to get it healthy as possible, because they rather have me for 15 instead of just one.
Jeff and then Zach.
Miles, it feels like a long time since we last spoke to you. Now that the season is here, and we know how hard you worked in the offseason, you're obviously posting videos, et cetera. What should we expect to see from you this week that maybe we didn't see in year one?
Just more discipline in the run game, just trying to be that more complete back in the run game. I showed a lot of glimpse of what I can do outside of the backfield, just trying to tighten up my run game more, being more decisive and downhill, more effective, and just getting positive yards for our offense so we can just keep rolling.
Zach and then Kristen.
Hey, Miles, you're obviously judged most by the way you run and catch, but it seemed the team missed your blocking last weekend. How big a part of your game is pass protection, would you say?
It's a big part of my game. I can't play unless I protect 11. So my job is just to be dialed in, locked in with the offensive line, and just keep that pocket as solid as possible for 11, so we can, like I said, just keep rolling and be the offense that I know we can be.
Kristen and then John McMullen.
Hey, Miles, you talked about not being happy, obviously watching the game sitting on your couch. So, simply put, how excited are you to be out there this week?
I'm extremely excited, and I think everybody else on the team can say that too. Just trying to bring the energy this week, different spark to the offense. Just trying to do whatever I can to help get us a W this week.
John and then Martin.
Hey, Miles, to kind of follow up on that pass protection question, Doug, we talked to Doug earlier in the week. He mentioned how it's difficult for young running backs to pick up that part of the game because they're not asked to do it that much at the college level. How proud of you are you in that improvement that you've been able to do during your rookie season, and how much do you think you've improved?
Well, I want to give most of my credit to Penn State. I did a lot of pass blocking in Penn State. We didn't just run the ball, and catch the ball and stuff. We really took pass protection serious as a running back as far as Penn State. So I was used to it. We couldn't be on the field unless we protect the quarterback. And so I'm just trying to get as better at it as possible, just knowing exactly what the line sees and what calls they can make before they even make it. Just trying to be that dialed in to the looks that the defense gives us, and just really just playing like that. But as soon as I hear the call, I know exactly where my eyes should be at the right place and should pick it up perfectly.
We have time for a few more, so let's go Martin, EJ, and Daniel.
Hey, Miles. You got the chance over the second half of last season, to be pretty much the every down back and everything. And, like Jeff was asking before, you worked really hard during the offseason. What are you looking forward to the most this season, and how good can you be?
What I'm looking for, obviously, is a whole bunch of W's on the left side of our record. That's the main thing. But I just honestly, personally, my main goal is just to get respect. I want to be noticed as one of those top backs because I believe I am, and I believe I will be. And and that just comes with me just grinding every day, just staying to myself and being humble and just working hard every day. And I know all that stuff will pay off. And Sundays just let it loose.
EJ and then Daniel.
Hey, Miles. Earlier in the week, Nikel said that you asked him about what he could tell you about Aaron Donald. Could you tell us about that conversation and how familiar with him were you since you guys are both from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I was just asking him how he was like in practice, which I'm pretty sure he's a monster in practice. He's probably going hard every play. Actually, I work out with him in the off season sometimes when I go back at Pittsburgh, so I know him a little more than people think. But I just know that he's. I mean, you don't win Defensive Player of the Year 2 times in a row for no reason, and I'm proud of him. I respect his game, all the respect, but we got a team over here full of good players too. So it's going to be a dogfight up front, and we're just looking forward to get that W at the end of the day.
What's it like working?
Working out with him? He moves just like me, so it's very frustrating.
Last one here with Daniel.
Hey, Miles, you posted a picture on Instagram earlier this week of Antoine Rose's name on the back of your helmet. As a Pittsburgh guy, what does being able to honor him mean to you? And I know that the Steelers did that on Monday night, and there was some, I guess, disagreement with the team after the fact. But, I mean, what does that just being able to make that gesture mean to you?
Well, I really don't care what people think, I knew him personally. We went to the same high school, shared the same hallway, so I know him as a kid, and I actually know more of the story that people don't know. And it looks bad the way it looks, They don't tell the whole story, but I mean, he was still an unarmed black man that got shot in the back by a police officer and was nowhere near dangerous to that police officer. So that's why it's important for me to just represent that. And his family. My car's cleats last year was dedicated to him in gun violence, and dedicated to his mom and his family too. So I don't really care what people think about the situation. It may look the way it does, but I truly know him as a person and his family, and it's just one of those situations where he was in a bad situation.
Hey, Jalen, thanks for taking the time today. We'll get started with Zach Berman and then Mike Kay.
Okay.
Hey, Jalen, now that you've had time to watch the film, process week one, how was it at safety for your first time as a full-time starter there?
Yeah. I mean, it was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I would say fun, but we didn't complete the mission. So it was cool. But definitely, you know what I'm saying? It's always a learning experience, man. I mean, I don't care. Year 1, year 5. Hear it from guys year 10. Each and every game you learn something new. So I'm definitely looking forward to this week and making a couple more plays.
Mike and then Kristen.
Hey, Jalen, the numbers at corner you have 4 healthy corners. If you're called upon to kind of pick up the slack if there's an injury, are you prepared to move over from safety to corner if need be?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I know the defense in and out. From left corner all the way nickel dime, free safety, strong safety to the right corner. So like you said, if it ever was a time where a guy start cramping or helmet issue, anything like that, I could definitely go in there and fill the void.
Can I follow up with that? Now that you've played a game at safety in the NFL, what are the different types of pressure on you, responsibility-wise, corner to safety? Is there anything like really starkly different to get your mind right?
Yeah, it's the mental part, and also it's a lot more communication. Like you say, you get a certain formation, you getting shifts and motions. You know what I'm saying? I might have to, tell a D lineman something. I might have to tell the corner, we're changing the coverage, or tell a linebacker, or different things like that. So I think the biggest thing from switching the corner to safety is the mental part for sure.
Kristen and then Ed.
Hey, Jalen, going off that idea of communication, when we talked with you week one and even after the game, you said, that communication on the sidelines is huge. for these DBs to kind of get on the same page. What has the communication been like for you guys this week? And do you guys feel like you're a little bit more on the same page heading into week 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Our video guys, they do a great job as far as, setting a TV screen out there on the sideline. And as soon as we get our 6-7 plays in, we go straight to the sideline and we can review the plays right there. And I think that's a really, really big thing because now, outside of that, that's kind of how the game is. You have your drive and then you come to the sideline and, they give coach the tablet and we're going over different coverages, different run fits and how guys can communicate better on certain things. So, I mean, as far as that goes, communication has been really, really good this week.
Ed and then John.
Hey, Jalen, the Rams like to use a lot of the pre-snap motion and movement, a lot of different tempos. Just your second start at safety, I mean, how challenging will that be for you to kind of be in tune with all that stuff?
Yeah, Coach M, he always says, his 3 biggest thing is alignment, assignment, execution. So, number one, going into the game, knowing that they do a lot of shifts and motions, things like that, getting my alignment first, you know what I'm saying, knowing what I have to do, and then at the end of the day, the execution is just eye progression, keeping my eyes where they need to be, not getting caught up with all the jet motions and the different shifts. If I have one guy, look at him and let him tell me, where the play is going.
John and then Bo.
Hey, Jalen, to kind of follow up on what Ed just said, how does that change for you with all that motion as a safety versus cornerback? Do you have more communication responsibilities? Do you have to get guys lined up correctly? Is there more on your plate from that standpoint?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Like I said, corner, whether we're in man or zone, they know at the end of the day, they got the number 1 receiver to their side, each side, left and right. As far as me, the communication is a little bit different. But it also helps, that we do have a veteran group out there, and you got a lot of guys who kind of know, if somebody does have a brain fart, we kind of preach that too at practice, even throughout camp. Guys have brain farts out there. You know what I'm saying? If you see a guy, he doesn't look like he's in the right position, whether it's me, whether it's anybody else on the field, tell him like, hey, like you have this on this play, or I might tell, one of the linebackers, hey, you have this on this play. So I think it is, it's a little bit more, but like I said, it's also a great thing that we do have a veteran group to guys kind of know each and every spot.
We have time for a couple more guys, so we'll go Bo and then Daniel.
Hey, Jalen, this is sort of an odd one, but do you think of yourself differently as a safety than a corner, just in the way that you think of yourself on the field?
No, I don't. I just see myself playing football. You know what I'm saying? Running to the ball, making tackles, trying to make plays on the ball. I just see it as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Jalen, Slay was talking about Robert Woods earlier this week, and he said that he's someone that he doesn't think he gets enough credit as a wide receiver. What makes Woods good, and what kind of role does he fill in that offense?
Yeah. Number one thing that I kind of try to look for is, for one, Robert Woods, we can say Cooper Kupp, either one of those guys, they're the number 1 receivers for the Rams. They're 1A, 1B. They're interchangeable. So, number one thing I see out of him is blocking when there's runs. You know what I'm saying? They're inserting him. He's chipping DNs, trying to dig out linebackers. That's the biggest thing, because you have teams, in the NFL where a number 1 receiver, he's nowhere near that. You know what I'm saying? They're putting him out wide, running him off. And then number 2 is you see him catching a lot of balls over the middle. He's not scared to catch the ball in the middle of the field. And that just shows, that he has confidence in himself and his hands, and knowing sometimes that he might take a hit, but he's going to put it on the line for his team.
Good to see you. This is all kind of weird for all of us, I'm sure. But how'd you end up here? And were you surprised to end up here? Had you had any inkling that something like this could happen?
Oh, man. Ended up in Philly. Well, no, I was, chipping away in Chicago when I really got a call after a meeting saying, I was being called on to come here, man. And I felt like this was an opportunity to come to a great organization and see if I can help us win some football games. So I'm glad I got the opportunity, and I'm excited to see what it holds.
You have a lot to learn here. You've been in different systems, different blocking schemes. Is there anything different here for you?
What I've come to learn, in my short, 6 years in the league is, a lot of things are universal. Typically, what you have to change is your terminology of things, but as far as the concepts of things, they're pretty universal. And then it's just the techniques from each different coach, what they like, how we do things. And so for me here, that's pretty much what it is just learning how we do things and picking up the Philly way.
Let's go Bo Wolf and then Jimmy Kempski.
Hey, Jamon, like changing teams, the mechanics of it is a little bit different this year, obviously, and you've now done it twice this summer. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's like and, how long you have to quarantine, what all that stuff is like?
Man, so it's definitely different, right? Because, social distance is kind of the theme of everything. And so you don't come right in and start touching on people or working with people. You have to quarantine for a couple of days. I think I tested for 2 days before I was even allowed in the building or around anybody. And so I think that's pretty much how it goes. You'll come in, you'll test for the first couple of days. As long as you have negative test, then you proceed to the next step. For me, that was doing things like physicals and getting acclimated to the building and learning where everything was and getting my iPad and stuff like that. So it's weird, it's different, but it's pretty painless.
And so when you are quarantining, but you've been acquired by the team, do you have a playbook and are you allowed to like Zoom into meetings?
Yes. I was able to do that after I had negative tests. I believe that first day. I think each organization is different because I didn't do the same thing each time.
Okay.
What I did here was different than what I did when I went to Chicago. So I think it's a combination of how the club, kind of does their things with, the rules that has been set in place.
If I can ask one more, sorry. So you've been in 3 different places. How are the protocols different in those 3 different places?
Typically just your testing time. Some organizations give you a window. Other organizations give you like a set time. As far as how they do the test is been conducted the same. But yeah, other than like the time of everything is pretty much universal.
Thank you.
Jimmy and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Jamon, I'm sure you're aware that you started against the Eagles in each of the last 3 seasons with 3 different teams. So I guess you left at least some kind of impression on them positively. Did they communicate to you in any way, what they like about your game?
Yes, that I'm a big guy, that I move fairly well, take up space, and then I could be physical at the point of attack, and that was some of the things that they talked to me about that they liked. I was hoping that obviously, like you said, playing them the past 3 years also played a part in that. I can't really remember how all of them went. I think I was victorious and I hope a couple of those, but I'm hoping that's what helped me land here.
Ed and then Mike K.
Hey, Jamon. Were you a little? I mean, I think you played 60 games in the NFL. Were you a little surprised that you landed on the practice squad with the Bears? Did you think you might have been able to make the roster there initially?
Definitely. It's always different, but for me, I never really try to focus on whether I'm a starter, whether I'm on the practice squad. I try to approach my business and my work every day the same. And so was it a little bit of shocking? Yes. I know I could have eventually worked my way up in Chicago. I was grateful that Philly called me when they did, right? Because it allowed me an opportunity to do that a little faster. But for me, it's just all about just continue to work, continue to get better, because that'll make room for me wherever I'm at.
Mike, and then Ruben Frank.
Hey, Jamon, what position are you most comfortable at? Right guard, left guard, center, wherever. And then also, how much has it kind of helped you? I know you bounced around a little bit, but learning different blocking schemes and everything so that you can come here and get those multiple looks here.
Yes, I would say I'm most comfortable at right guard. I guess because that's been where a majority of my starts have come from. I would like to think of myself as a pretty balanced person, so I don't like to limit myself and say, hey, I'm just a right guard. I would like to think that I do both well. Preference-wise, I would probably say I'm more fluid at the right side. But being in different systems, to answer your second question, I think it has helped me in being able to come here and start to pick up on things quicker because I've seen it before. Again, like I was saying earlier, the only major changes really is terminology and techniques. The concepts of things hold true pretty much. Wide zones, wide zone. Gap schemes are gap schemes, you know what I mean? And so having seen a couple of systems, I think, has given me an advantage in coming here because it's not like I'm reading Chinese, you know what I mean? It's some stuff that I've heard before, seen before.
We have time for a few more guys, so let's go Ruben Frank, John McMullen, and then Dave Zangaro.
Welcome to Philly. How have you gotten any indication that you'll be able to compete for a starting right guard job, which has kind of been in flux since Brandon Brooks got hurt? And how do you approach that?
Yeah. So, I really haven't, we haven't really discussed on, where I'm at as far as, competing for the spot. Will it happen sooner than later? Don't really know. Right now, everybody's just trying to get me up to speed. I'm trying to get up to speed and making sure, I know this system the best I can. Because, again, going into a game, you're going to need to know the system inside and out for all those different situations that you can be put in. As far as, where I would be for playing time and stuff like that, I got to let the coaches evaluate and do whatever they do. My main focus is just making sure, one, I get in good with my teammates. I get in good with this organization, learn the ways of the Eagles, and then I'm ready when my number is called.
All right, last two here with John and then Dave.
Hey, Jamon, welcome. Your first game with the Eagles is going to be with the team that drafted you, the Rams. And you were there towards the end when Sean McVay started. What do you remember about that offense? And do you still have a lot of friends and good memories of playing there?
Definitely have a lot of friends and good memories. As far as the system goes, I think it was very innovative. I think McVay did a great job of making things look different. What he would like to call it is the illusion of complexity, giving you the same thing but making it look different. I think that's what they do well. I've been a couple of places, so as far as terminology and stuff like that, I can't, it would be hard for me to say, hey, this is some of their stuff, but I can just remember the kind of the gist of the system and what we did. It wants to be efficient. It wants to move quick, keep the defense on their toes, and make the defense have to guard every blade of grass out there. I think at times it can be high powered when it's ran efficiently, but we'll see Sunday. You know what I mean? I like us to go in there and dominate, and I think that's what we're going to do.
Last one here with Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Jamon, if you end up starting at right guard at some point this season, you'd be filling in for Brandon Brooks. Just wondering if you know him at all and what you think of his game.
I don't know him personally. I've only known him from afar, being able to watch him on film. But I think he's a great player. I think he's a enormous human being. I think at times on films you see how enormous he is. You know what I mean? When he gets his hands on you, he's dynamic. I know that he was a big part of what was going on here. And for me, it's just being able to step in and not be a Brandon Brooks, but be a Jamon Brown and do what I do and help, Philly and this offense, one, put up points how we want to and then win football games. But I'm excited to meet Brandon. I look forward to meeting him and picking his brain, seeing what I can learn from him. And hoping that he gets healthy soon.
All right. Thanks for taking the time today, Jamon.
Thank you.